The Honor 8X, a smartphone that Donald Trump doesn't want you to buy. Because Huawei, the parent company of Honor, are spies and can't be trusted. After all, they're from
China.
China. Trump aside, I can easily say the Honor 8X is a sweet budget phone. But is it the best smartphone on a $200 budget? And does it make any sense to buy right now with the US-China trade wars? Let's find out. Full disclosure, I need to highlight my down, then up experience using the Honor 8X for the past couple of months. You see, I bought this phone in February because after months of my 2-year-old dropping my Blue Life 1 X2 on the floor, I was the one that actually cracked the screen. And even though I said in my review of this phone, I wouldn't buy it again for several reasons, it was still functional, so I used it for over 2 years. Anyways, I reviewed my wife's phone last year, the Huawei Mate SE, which I really liked and highly recommended. And looking at the competition at the price point of the Honor 8X at the time, there was nothing out that caught my attention. Well, except the Huawei Y9 and the Honor 10 Lite. All three of these phones have basically the same specs, the same chipset, CPU and GPU, roughly the same RAM and storage configurations. My Honor 8X is the 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage version, and the three phones have the same screen resolution. The Y9 has the largest battery size, the 10 Lite the smallest, with the 8X in the middle with 3750 milliamps. The reason I went with the Honor 8X is because it has a 20 megapixel rear facing camera versus the 13 megapixels in both the Y9 and 10 Lite. If you're into selfies, you'll probably pick the 10 Lite over the other phones, as that has a 24 megapixel front-facing camera versus the 16 megapixel cameras of the Y9 and 8X. The Honor 8X has a glass back like the 10 Lite that I prefer over the Y9's plastic finish, even though the glass backs are fingerprint magnets, but the Y9 and the Honor 8X have a 6.5-inch screen that I prefer over the 6.2-inch screen of the 10 Lite. That beautiful 6.5-inch LTPS IPS display leads me to my initial negative experience with the Honor 8X. When I got the phone, I turned it on. Everything looked beautiful. After the initial setup, I started downloading and installing apps, backing up my previously saved apps from my Google account, when all of a sudden, my screen started to freak out. I see a line just appear down the center of my screen, and it was starting to show this square that was just starting to jiggle up and down that was near the center of the line. After a few seconds, the square disappeared, but the line down the center of the screen stays there. I was like, damn! Every electronics has a rate of failure, and there's bound to be some products that are shipped that are defective, and this was just my bad luck. I messaged Amazon and they quickly responded to my concern. They even allowed me to pack the phone in a non-original box. All I had to do was stick the return address and the lithium-ion battery warning label on the box, pay for the shipping, and they would reimburse me. Oh, but thanks to Samsung, I couldn't mail my phone back to Amazon. The Belize Post Office has a notice on their wall informing customers that they don't mail any phone with non-removable batteries. The Samsung Note 7 being prominently featured on this notice, so you know how old that notice is. The stupid thing is, my phone got to Belize on a plane, and this ban isn't limited to the government post office, it's any courier in Belize that sends packages via an airplane. I went back to Amazon and they didn't seem interested in providing a reimbursement without receiving back the phone, which is understandable, and unfortunately, this was an international version of the Honor 8X, so no warranty from the seller. So I was a little upset over my smartphone misfortune, but like a pixel miracle, the line down the middle started to fade over time. And thankfully, I recorded the Honor 8X about a week later so that I could still see a faint hint of the line down the middle before it disappeared completely. And this happened just in time before my trip to Lima, Peru. I came to appreciate that the Honor 8X comes with an already applied screen protector and also comes with a case, because I've moved around with this phone in my pocket and the screen protector has already taken a few scuffs over the past couple of months, starting with my time in Lima. Now, I took my old Samsung NX500 on that trip. I had time to whip out my camera and take a lot of shots. And honestly, I prefer the 28 megapixel and more importantly, APS-C sensor size camera over the tiny 20 megapixel and tiny camera sensor of the Honor 8X. Still, the depth perception provided by the second 2 megapixel camera isn't bad, and those bokeh shots don't look bad as long as you don't zoom in on the picture. If you do, and especially if you compare them side by side with the NX500, well, of course, there's no comparison. Still, I was pleasantly happy with the picture quality of the Honor 8X. And 2 months later, when I went on a trip to Merida, Mexico, I really appreciated just how quickly pulling my phone out of my pocket and taking some random pics when backing around a camera wasn't an option. The video quality at this price range isn't as good as the picture quality. Sure, if you're standing still and there's plenty of light, the footage does look decent, but you really feel the lack of stabilization when moving around. Maybe my GH5 has spoiled me. In regards to performance and practical usage, the Honor 8X delivers. I get my full day's usage with the 3750 mAh battery. The phone moves snappy through my daily apps. The Mali G51 MP4 GPU is decent for gaming. Certain titles you'll probably have to adjust the graphical settings to medium settings, but overall, the Honor 8X does the job. Looking at benchmarks, we have 1,245 single-core score and 4,214 for the multi-core score on Geekbench 4, and 137,688 on Antutu, which is pretty nice for this price if you ask me. The call quality is clean and the single speaker is loud enough. It's serviceable, but you will want to make use of that 3.5mm headphone jack. The included earbuds have a very Apple look and surprisingly comparable audio quality. The version of the Honor 8X that I got from Amazon, which is the JSN L23, doesn't support NFC, only the L21 does, which is a bummer, but the lack of NFC is a common trend for smartphones at this price point. This version of the Honor 8X does support Widevine CDM L1, so full HD support for Netflix is available on the Honor 8X. The 8X comes with Android 8.1, but the rollout to Android 9 for the Honor 8X started several months ago in different regions of the world. Unfortunately for me, when I recently attempted to run the update, I got an update invalid message, and then I was unable to attempt the update again. I checked the forums and some people have complained about bugs in Android Pie installation, so I wouldn't be surprised if Honor has paused the update rollout for my model, but it should be coming for all versions of the Honor 8X. And if I really wanted Android 9, I could install the beta version manually right now.
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
can you...
But what about Trump? He wants to ban US companies from dealing with Huawei, which includes dealing with Honor. Trump has claimed that they're a security threat, even though there still isn't proof of this, but the US government gave Huawei a 90-day license to still do business within the US. This postponement on the ban makes sense because 90 days won't be enough time for Huawei to spy on us. 91 days, now that's a concern. So the big issue about getting this Honor phone will be Android support after August 19th, 2019, when Google should officially stop doing business with Huawei. What about an Android 10 update when that finally is released? Forget about Google no longer doing business with Huawei for a minute. Budget smartphones on a whole typically only get one OS upgrade and a few security patches, and then that's it. The Honor 8X is currently receiving the OS update to Android Pie, and Google has stated services will be maintained on existing Huawei devices, so I expect to still use Gmail and YouTube on my phone well into next year, and to receive a few more security patches before Honor stops supporting the 8X. maybe when the Honor 9X is released. Overall, I'm very happy with the performance of the Honor 8X. All my travels with the phone, it has worked great. Everything is speedy. I forgot to mention the fingerprint scanner works great for unlocking the phone. Very snappy. The phone also supports Face ID. I highly recommend buying the Honor 8X as long as your telecom carrier supports it. Amazon affiliate link in the description if you're interested. Not sure if Amazon will have it available to purchase after August 19th, but we'll see. But is the Honor 8X the best smartphone on a $200 budget? Almost. As I said before, I purchased the Honor 8X in February, but literally 2 days after I ordered the 8X, Xiaomi released the Redmi Note 7 in the US. I don't own a Redmi, I really like my phone, but just looking at the spec sheet, there is no way I can call the Honor 8X the best smartphone on a budget in 2019 when both of these phones are being sold for $195 on Amazon right now, and the Redmi offers more. Sure, the Note 7 has a smaller screen at only 6.3 inches, but it has USB Type-C versus the old micro USB found on the Honor 8X, and the Redmi supports Quick Charge 4.0. My Honor 8X takes over 2 hours to fully charge from a dead battery, and speaking of the battery, the Redmi Note 7 has a 4000 mAh battery, which is bigger than the one in the 8X. The two killer features of the Redmi Note 7 are 1, the 48 megapixel rear facing camera, which should take better pictures than the Honor 8X, and 2, the Adreno 512 GPU, which is better for gaming than the Mali G51 found in the 8X. The only pros of the 8X has over the Redmi is the SIM tray for the Honor 8X has 2 SIM card slots and 1 dedicated micro SD card slot, where the Redmi has a shared SD card slot where you'll either have 2 SIM cards or 1 SIM card and 1 SD card. Also, I think the Redmi only supports Widevine L3, so no HD support on the Redmi for Netflix. So to conclude, the Honor 8X is a great budget phone, possibly the best budget smartphone that Trump doesn't want you to buy. I think the Redmi Note 7 is the best at $200, and something to really consider if you're a US citizen, the Redmi probably has more support from US telecom carriers. Affiliate links to the Xiaomi Redmi Note 7 is also in the description. No extra cost to you if you use it to purchase the phone, but it does help me out with this channel. Anyways guys, hope you found this review informative. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe and hit that notification bell if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys soon.